10-0's nasty. You're better off getting X amount of players sent off than you forfeit 3-0. But yeah, away from the silliness, man. Let's see what's going on in the papers. Now, yesterday, Fabrizio Romano said Gyokeres' priority is to join Arsenal this summer, despite calls from Man United in recent weeks. Gyokeres always an option amid Sesko talks with no deal sealed so far. Arsenal keep assessing situation. United remain keen but believe deal is now unlikely. What happened to where United was signing everyone? Boy, Spurs are stealing in Buemo. Allegedly, Spurs are trying to sue you. You lost the final to Spurs. Don't make us get Gyokeres. You mean to tell me little old Mikel Arteta, big bad Man United, you could sign everybody. Little old Mikel Arteta has been able to convince this man to sign for us over his former manager. Boy, uncomfortable. Uncomfortable. Come on. Gyokeres season. I can't even do that. It don't even matter. But let's go, Gyokeres. Gyokeres is said to view signing for Arsenal as a dream. Manchester United held exploratory discussions for Gyokeres, but it's understood the players' reps have told them he does not wish to join them, with Arsenal his preferred option. Man United are still linked with him as well, for what it's worth. So again, you have to take everything with a pinch of salt. Apparently, he's still linked with Juventus as well. Apparently, they're ready to sign him for 70 million euros, which is more than Arsenal and United, based on reports, is prepared to commit, and offering 13 million a year in terms of a salary. Atletico Madrid, Berta's former club, apparently on this. How many strikers do you lot need? You got Alvarez in that. Apparently, they're waiting for Arsenal, whatever that means. Gunners to send new bid for Sad to Sad. I don't know what that means, but I'm assuming for Sporting for Gyokeres this week. Is the agent playing off all these clubs' interests? Is Sporting doing that? It seems like there's a lot of gamesmanship going on. Everybody's interested, and apparently Arsenal have actually frozen their move for Gyokeres. The Gunners have had enough of Sporting's demands and will start to look at other targets, which I think might be the case with Arsenal and Man United. Whether United is the preferred option, Arsenal's the preferred option, both clubs probably feel they're being messed about. Between the agent of this individual or Sporting's president, based on his comments, it's looking like a myth. Like, it is what it is. And apparently Arsenal never made an offer to Sporting for Gyokeres. The Swede is a target, but Arteta's priority has always been Sesko. Gyokeres is still on the list in case the deal doesn't materialize. He has a preference at the Gunners over Man United. So we're seeing very conflicting reports. And again, we're going to see a bit more. Completely off topic as a side note, but the ITKs of this world are saying AC Milan contacted Arsenal around 2 to 3 weeks ago to understand the situation of Zinchenko. They were told 2 other clubs were in the mix, which is great for us, because the more people that are interested in Zinchenko, the more likely he is to leave. We get a fee and the wages are off the bill. The message from Berta is clear: pay a respectable sum or leave the room. The situation remains fluid. And actually, AC Milan are being linked with Calafiori at this moment in time. So there's a lot of rumours. Parr is expected to return to London next week, and the expectation is he will join Arsenal in the warm weather summer camp in Spain. Sources stress nothing has been signed as of last week, but a decision is expected soon. Again, the Gyokeres stuff, which every article is saying something completely different, people. So you lot can draw whatever conclusions you want. On Saturday, Record reported Gyokeres' agents have informed Man United they don't want him to sign for the Old Trafford club and are targeting a move to Arsenal. It looks like the players' camp trying to take power away from Sporting and push the striker's price down. Without Man United in the picture, the chance of an auction between 2 big Premier League clubs was taken away, and in theory, that could put pressure on his price. At the time, we explained it was a risky strategy because if Arsenal didn't push ahead and Sporting were insistent on the price, it could leave the player in an even more difficult position than he is now. Sunday's edition of the Record reports Arsenal frees Gyokeres because Sporting won't bring the price down. Last week, it was reported the Gunners had offered 55 million euros plus a further 10 million in bonus payments, which is what they thought would be enough. There's a very good chance they thought that because the players' camp gave them reason to believe, regardless, Sporting turned it down and have publicly said they won't be selling their player for anything like that, which is true. We have gone over that. Arsenal then showed indications of potentially reaching 70 million euros as a total package, but didn't go further with that, likely because it wouldn't have been enough. Records say the London club have had enough at this stage and feel the price is too high. They believe they have cheaper options in the trio of targets with Sesko and Ollie Watkins named. Gyokeres is still said to be keen to sign for Arsenal, but for now it's slowed down. Whether this is another attempt from the players' camp, who appear to be trying something new every day to pressure Sporting, remains to be seen. Atletico Madrid have been presented as a potential option again in the past 24 hours. And their interest stems from Andrea Berta, who obviously joined Arsenal from Atletico Madrid. So we're now seeing that it's 70 million. So I don't know, man. But apparently, we're set to offer a package worth 70 million euros. A bowler, also a bit of Man United. The Red Devils have been following this entire process since the beginning. However, the desire expressed by the Swede to go to Arsenal ended up making the reigniting this relationship that began in Sporting, I guess, Amarin and Gyökeres, unfeasible. Juventus are still linked. So who knows, man, really and truly. But again, conflicting stuff, conflicting stuff. He opts for a dream move to Arsenal. He must have grew up on Freddie Ljungberg. Again, apparently Arsenal have responded. What was this said? We're said to be ready in an offer. When did this come out? So this was yesterday. Arsenal was said to be ready in an offer. So 1 minute we've bidded. Other reports said we've had a bid rejected. Then there's reports we bidded twice. Then there's reports saying wide of the mark. What's going on in the papers? What's going on in real life? I don't know. But until people are holding shirts, who knows people? So it is what it is. So yeah, it's claimed we've bidded. It's claimed we're undecided whether to bid again. And new articles are presented. Arsenal pressure three strikers as Viktor Gyökeres stance emerges. What are you lot saying? Arsenal are staging their own beauty pageant as they are actively chasing deals for Gyökeres and Sesko. Okay, so they're just going to say what we know already. Gyökeres and Sesko seem to be the top targets. Our plan, like our doomsday plan, if worst comes to worst, is Ollie Watkins. Every now and again, we're linked with other names. Yeah, he prefers a move to Arsenal over Man United. I'm never going to stop saying that because those Man United guys do all of this. We know a bunch of clubs have been linked with Sesko, including Bayern Munich. Can we rule out Chelsea out of the Gyökeres stuff? And could you rule out Chelsea out of Sesko? Because I think Chelsea actually want to do what I would like to see our club do in an ideal world, which is two strikers. You get your guy right now, which is Gyökeres, and you get your Sesko, who can be the guy right now, but, you know, there's less pressure in that regard. You got striker for the present, you got one for the future, but who knows? At this point, we know Gyökeres is older. I don't know if he'll hit the ground running a bit more, but he is more seasoned in that. It's more potential kind of talk with Sesko. So yeah, he wants to play the Champions League. Mikel Arteta has thought to prefer Benjamin Sesko. Let's see if there's anything else that we ain't missed, man. I don't want to keep reading the same things. Whether Arteta views the Swede as his first choice centre forward recruit is unclear, as he's thought to prefer the 22-year-old Benjamin Sesko at Leipzig. Sporting value Gyökeres at 68 million quid, which equates to 80 million euros, people. Fair enough. Fair enough. Don't think we've learned anything. We're not learning anything new here, are we? Interesting. Interesting. Let's see if there's anything else. So that's in relation to Sesko and Gyökeres, Ollie Watkins. Don't want to hear about Zubamendi until he signs. Part to be one player unlikely to be going is Calafiori after AC Milan made an inquiry, but they were rebuffed by Arsenal, and the Italy defender also wants to stay in London. This is why AC Milan are now pursuing a move for Arsenal's Zinchenko, who would be allowed to leave this summer. Zinchenko has 1 year left on his current deal, and wages are still a sticking point, but AC Milan are ready to push to get the deal done. They've also previously been interested in Arsenal's Jakub Kiwior, but his impressive end to the campaign means the Gunners want him to stay. Zinchenko has become surplus to requirements. 200k a week wage is crazy. And we've been linked with Joel Hato, who for me, bring him. So yeah, apparently we've paused the Gyökeres deal. Sporting are not reducing their demands, and we're moving on. So it seems like everyone's moving on. Apparently Arsenal have jumped on a stalled Chelsea deal for Joel Hato. Both London clubs remain interested. Apparently, Mikel Arteta's side have held positive talks with Hato's reps in the last 3 days. However, it must be said contacts between the parties have been ongoing for the past 2 years, which is why personal terms are not seen as a problem. But couldn't you apply? I know no two deals are the same, but based on 2 years, couldn't that apply to Sesko? So why do we keep seeing stuff around personal terms for Sesko? We all know why, but I just think a lot of these reports directly contradict themselves a lot with what they say. But nonetheless, apparently Ajax want to ask for around 50 million euros. I think he's worth the money. Get it done, man. Get it done. If there's a chance to get Joel Hato, get it done today, man. The battle between Chelsea and Arsenal is just beginning. Chelsea cannot afford to lose ground during the Club World Cup, as Arsenal are moving with strength and confidence, apparently. The Gunners are also considering other defensive targets, but Hato is clearly one of their priorities. I mean, he's captained Ajax at 18. He's played centre-half. He's in the Dutch squad. He's played a year at left-back. I think it makes sense. For me, with Hato, I don't see why you shouldn't just stay at Ajax for one more season in a World Cup year and then make the move. But as an Arsenal fan, I would love you. Romano then said as well, Arsenal remain active in talks with Gyökeres' reps. The Gunners also spoke to Sesko last week, but they haven't reached an agreement. So we're seeing bare different things, people. This article, long story short, has said Arsenal may move for two strikers should funds allow it. And now news for Germany means that the Emirates club would be advised to push the boat out to secure a double deal. So that's in relation to Sesko, who apparently we've had talks. We've been going over Gyokeres. Openda of Leipzig has been linked with moves away. And to be fair, everyone's linked with strikers. Surely he could get a move. He could be available for 60 million euros, and he is 25 years of age. If Arsenal were that keen, we would have seen stronger rumours. Now, a lot of you would have seen Barcelona have been linked with Nico Williams. Nonetheless, apparently Arsenal have launched a concerted push to sign the Athletic Bilbao winger. Now, I don't believe that. Rodrigo, Nico Williams, throw that in the bin. I don't think we like Rafael like that for the finances involved. And when players do seem close to joining certain other clubs, you do hear this hijack kind of talk and whatnot. But according to the Spanish news outlet Sport, the players' release clause is around 53 million, and the Gunners have shown their intention to activate that clause. Bilbao, aware of Arsenal's advances, have already initiated talks to extend Williams' contract, including a substantial pay rise. We are confident of signing Nico Williams, apparently. Bayern Munich are in the fold as well. But yeah, so it's Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and Arsenal for Nico Williams, in which he's going to end up at Barcelona. And again, in terms of rumours, Gerard Moreno, who's a Spanish-based journalist, has said some voices within the club believe the Nico deal may not be ideal due to concerns over friendships and personal relationships. They fear a repeat of the so-called Club de Amigos dynamic, where everything runs smoothly when results are good, but tensions and issues emerge as soon as things take a turn. Okay. The club would prefer to pay Nico's fee in installments rather than making a one-time payment of 64 million, which is what Atletico are demanding. Additionally, the relationship between Barcelona and Atletic's board members is not at its best. If he wants to make the move, he will. Once again, Arsenal are prepared to sign Williams. It don't really mean anything. Anyone having John Duran? Apparently, Napoli and Fenerbahce have made official offers to El Nassr for the young striker. And I am braced for Garnacho links to return, people. But Ornstein did have an article about the intention of Garnacho is still to leave. Romano has said his priority is to stay in the Premier League. So Arsenal been linked. Chelsea tried to buy him. Boy, we were linked this week with Nuso, who's a winger. Who knows? We might have to consider that. Arsenal are big fans of Juventus star Andrea Cambiasso. Now, he is a left back. I wouldn't be against that. Nicolo Schiro, butchered it. Apologies. Reports the Gunners are admirers of the versatile Italy international who can play in multiple positions, but more comfortable at left or right wing back. Surely, I swear he was meant to go City in January. Who knows, man? I actually think we need another defender or a left back. Apparently, Arsenal are a team to watch this summer in regards to Cambiasso, especially if Zinchenko leaves. He's to leave Juventus. Apparently, he said this journalist has said Juventus want to keep him this summer while the player's waiting for a contract renewal from the club. There you have it. However, in the event of a massive offer, Juventus could consider a sale. This is what happened during the January transfer window when Cambiasso was close to joining City for around 60 million. Pep is known to be a big fan of the player, but in the end, the deal fell through despite being at an advanced stage. City are no longer interested in Cambiasso after signing El Nouri from Wolves. Fair enough. And if he is tactically very flexible and an unorthodox player who can interpret multiple positions, that's music to the ears of Mikel Arteta. He is naturally a ball-footed fullback or wing-back who can play on either side, but he has played as a winger and a central midfielder for Juventus. So across the season, in terms of depth, that could help Arsenal, and it all depends how much they want. Before we get into that, Phil Foden, Arsenal have been tipped to complete a bombshell move for Manchester City superstar Phil Foden during the 2025 summer transfer window. He's got 2 years left on his contract with City. So that's probably where these rumors are coming out from, people. And when we were rubbish, it was all fun and games selling us Jesus and Zinchenko. I think City would think twice, especially where, Chelsea ain't been in title fights, but you sold Cole Palmer to Chelsea and look what he's doing. They're going to think twice about selling good players. Who knows? Oh, we've been done here. This is from Cascarano. Obviously, Arteta worked at Man City with Phil Foden for whatever reason. I'm sure we'll find out down the line. Foden just hasn't been the player we know him to be this season. From where he was Football Writers Player of the Year the season before, his performances this year have just not been justified. Self-proclaimed best player in the Premier League, Foden gave it himself. So, yeah, is what it is. But all what's happening at City and all the spending that's going on, I wouldn't be surprised if Foden is allowed to go somewhere, Cap. Maybe abroad. Whether City let him go to Arsenal, I don't know. But they let Jesus and Zinchenko go there. If Arsenal could get him, I think Arteta would really consider that. Yeah, it's a myth, man. I don't believe this one bit, but fair enough. Real Madrid are interested in Miles Lewis-Skelly as his contract ends in 2026, but Arsenal are very calm and optimistic he'll renew, says Fabrizio Romano. Once again, Sporting apparently have given Gyokeres assurances he'll be allowed to leave for 60 to 70 million people. And Sky Germany are saying that as well. And the ITKs of this world are also saying we are still in talks with Joel Hato. So that seems to be the transfer news segment. Let's make a timestamp of that. When did we start? Let's see. There. So yeah, what have you lot made of that, people? Let's crack on. Sorry for airing you lot. I just wanted to get through that. My son met Foden and asked him, is he joining Arsenal? And he just laughed. There you have it, man. It's nonsense. Don't just sign for depth, sign to win. Don't trust the